Hello and welcome to Euro Football Daily, where today we're looking at 10 young stars excelling around Europe so far this season. Number 10, Reiss Nelson. A year ago, Reiss Nelson was playing as a right wing back for Arsenal in the Europa League, but now he's tearing up the Bundesliga with 6 goals in 4 starts. That's just 1 goal fewer than Robert Lewandowski, despite playing only around a third of the Pole's minutes. Now currently the 18-year-old is running super hot. His 6 strikes came off the back of 1.8 expected goals, suggesting a return to earth sometime soon. But even if Nelson regresses to the level his expected goals predict, he'd still be among the European elite, contributing to roughly 2 goals every 3 games. Amazing numbers for anyone, let alone a teenager. And Hoffenheim are the perfect team for a young attacker. Around Europe, only 3 clubs are taking more shots on target per game than the German outfit: Man City, Barcelona and PSG. So Nelson is not only getting good minutes in a top 5 league, he's also featuring for a solid attack with a clear tactical identity under Nagelsmann. Obviously it's early days for Nelson, and the London-born forward has 3 years before he's even Marcus Rashford's age. But his output suggests that the Gunners may have a genuine star on their hands, and with Welbeck injured again and Aubameyang 30 next year, his time could come very soon. Number 9, Donny van de Beek. Amid all the excitement about Matthijs de Ligt and Frenkie de Jong, it's easy to forget that there are other good players at Ajax. After 10 games of the season, Hakim Ziyech and Dusan Tadic have 14 goals and 8 assists between them, while David Neres has contributed to a goal every 150 minutes and Nicolas Tagliafico has attracted the interest of Arsenal. But the heart of the side might well be Donny van de Beek, a 21-year-old partnering de Jong in central midfield. De Jong leads the team in passes per game with 12 more than the next best player, and his tally of 4 tackles and interceptions is very good for a side with around 60% possession. And it's that quality on the ball which allows Van de Beek to get forward. He actually puts up similar defensive numbers to Frenkie, but is also a force in attack, with 2 chances created per game, ranking only behind Ziyech and Tadic in the squad. He's also capable of getting goal-scoring opportunities himself, getting 1.7 shots in the box per game. That's actually better than Tadic and similar to elite attacking mids like Coutinho and Asensio. While he may not have the exceptional physical gifts which are likely to take de Jong to the top level, Van de Beek is a strong contributor on a side which looks set to reach the knockout stages of the Champions League for the first time since 2005-06. Number 8, Brais Méndez. Now a Spanish international with a goal on his debut versus Bosnia, Brais Méndez's rise to the top has been quick and well-deserved. The 21-year-old has only been playing senior football for just over a year, making his debut for Celta Vigo in 2017 at the age of 20, after 5 years in their academy and B team. It's been an easy transition for Méndez, who scored 3 and assisted 2 in La Liga this season, meaning only strike partnership Iago Aspas and Maxi Gomez have been more productive for the Galicians than him. And arguably he could expect to rank even higher in the Celta squad, with more shots, shots in the box and key passes per game than anyone else at the club. In fact, among under-23s across Europe, only Jadon Sancho, Ousmane Dembele and Lorenzo Pellegrini create more goal-scoring chances per 90 minutes than Méndez. Given that he's a Spanish attacking mid, you'd expect him to be tiny, but Méndez is 6'2" and still boasts the technical ability we associate with prospects out of La Liga, making him a fearsome opponent for any defence. If he can put together a full season running a top-flight attack, expect Celta to receive a few big bids in 2019. Number 7, Moussa Diaby. Next up, we want to talk to you about an outstanding 19-year-old French forward at Paris Saint-Germain. Remind you of anyone? No, we're not going to talk about Kylian Mbappé, who is in the process of making even his previous season look mediocre, but Moussa Diaby, who made his debut against Saint-Etienne in September 2018. After 9 appearances this season, Diaby has 2 goals and 5 assists, giving him a goal involvement every 51 minutes. And in case you're thinking that anyone could do that on a team as dominant as PSG, Julian Draxler has only been involved in a goal every 157 minutes. As a matter of fact, only Mbappé is beating Diaby in this regard, and only Di Maria has laid on more assists than the teenager for the Parisians so far. According to Understat, Diaby currently has a combined expected goals and expected assists number of 1 per 90, which is incredibly unlikely to persist unless he turns out to be Messi quality. But to be a useful contributor for a European super club at such a young age is remarkable, and it's high time PSG, the only major team in Paris, began to develop the talent they're so lucky to have access to. Number 6. François Kamano. For all the upheaval in the Spanish and German divisions this year, Ligue 1 continues to quietly churn out interesting young attackers ready to impress for bigger sides. One such forward is Guinean François Kamano. 2 years ago, at the age of 20, Kamano was involved in 10 league goals, then 12 last year, and this year he already has 7 in just 12 starts for Bordeaux. That puts him 5 goals ahead of Les Girondins' second highest scorer, Jimmy Briand, and Kamano has single-handedly powered the club's attack, taking or assisting 63 of their 170 shots so far, a massive contribution. His chances created and attempts on goal are at a career high, and though Kamano takes around half of his shots from distance, he's equally good at getting clear chances up close, with 2 shots from inside the box per game, roughly the same as Lacazette for Arsenal. Though Bordeaux currently sit in the bottom half of the table, Kamano should be getting some help with the arrival of Yann Caramo on loan from Inter Milan. The Frenchman is currently putting up an amazing 3 shots and 3 key passes per 90 minutes, and if the 2 youngsters can dovetail, Bordeaux stand a chance of improving on last year's 6th place. Number 5. Ibrahim Sangaré. With 16 shots allowed per game, Toulouse have the leakiest defence in Ligue 1, which is saying something in that division where the bottom of the league often harbours truly dreadful sides. After 13 matches, Toulouse already have a goal difference of -10 and have kept just 2 clean sheets. So imagine how much worse off they'd be without defensive midfield dynamo Ibrahim Sangaré. A 6'3" Ivorian, Sangaré is a truly giant presence in the centre of the park, but he's far more than just physically imposing. His size and speed mean that he's almost impossible to dribble past, and he succeeded with 39 of the 43 tackles he's attempted in Ligue 1. In fact, the 20-year-old Sangaré wins the ball back for his side almost 6 times per 90 minutes. Those are peak Kante numbers, and he can also move, completing 1.6 dribbles a game, the same as Mateo Kovacic. His passing suggests he could make this step up to a bigger side too. With 1 chance created each match and 4 long balls from deep, he contributes to getting Toulouse into the final third around 5 times a game. That's actually down from over 6 last season. He may still be raw, but it's hard not to look at Sangaré and see a perfect signing for Tottenham. Number 4. Federico Chiesa. The son of former Italy, Fiorentina and Lazio striker Enrico, Federico Chiesa has been with La Viola since he was 10, and at the age of 21 he already has 10 international caps, half the tally his father managed. The jewel of Fiorentina since the departure of Federico Bernardeschi, Chiesa was involved in 11 league goals in 2017-18, but could have had more, with XG putting his predicted contribution closer to 13. That's excellent for such a young player, and Chiesa has all the hallmarks of a top talent. His shots and key passes have gone up every season since he broke through in 2016, and with 3 goals and 2 assists in Serie A this term, he's already halfway to his total from last season. Quick and a solid dribbler, perhaps Chiesa's most valuable attribute is that he plays on the right, a position which for some reason seems to be a little thin right now across world football. Capable also of playing as a 10 or a genuine striker, Chiesa works hard for his side, making the same number of tackles and interceptions per game as Roberto Firmino. And with 13 of the 21 players used by Fiorentina this year being under 25, he's showing that he can lead a team. Number 3. Timo Werner. An obvious entry at 3 but unavoidable, Timo Werner has gone up a level this season. Any suggestion that 2018-19 would be a down year, with RB Leipzig waiting for the arrival of Julian Nagelsmann, has gone out of the window, as the Red Bulls sit 3rd at the time of writing, having outscored Bayern Munich so far. And 22-year-old Werner has been at the heart of that, contributing 7 of Leipzig's 22 league strikes and sending his shot numbers into the stratosphere. 2 years ago, the young German took 2.7 shots a game. That rose to 3.4 last year, a strong number for a top striker, but so far this campaign, Werner is making 5 attempts on goal. That's insane, and the list of players taking more shots per game across Europe reads Ronaldo, Aguero, Insigne, Messi, Mbappe, Dzeko. Not bad. And these are quality efforts too, as only 2 players can beat Werner's 4.2 shots inside the box per game. One is Ronaldo, and the other we'll come to later. While in previous years XG has predicted Werner's output as around 0.6 goals and assists per game, it's now at 0.9, aka fully fit Harry Kane levels. And as Cavani, Suarez, Lewandowski and Aguero are all approaching old age, it's just a matter of time until RB Leipzig are fielding an obscene bid for their number 11. Number 2. Giovani Lo Celso. It was a huge surprise when PSG allowed Argentinian midfielder Giovani Lo Celso to go out on loan for 2018-19. Despite him playing roughly the same number of minutes as Neymar and Verratti last year. The 22-year-old, who sadly played second fiddle to Javier Mascherano at the 2018 World Cup, is now at Real Betis, who once again are lighting up La Liga with their energetic football. Quique Setien's side amazingly ranks second in Spain for possession with 62%, that's just 1% behind Barcelona, so they needed a good passer who could also get forward and pull his weight defensively to replace Fabian Ruiz. Lo Celso has been better than they could have hoped. He's impossible to press with 2.6 dribbles per 90, the best at Betis, and he's also top for tackles, regaining possession nearly 4 times a match. But that's not all. He comes in 5th at Betis for chances created, and overall looks like being capable of playing any midfield role for an elite side. And surely those elite sides will be taking note. The fact that Thomas Tuchel sent Lo Celso to Spain while handing first team minutes to 21-year-old Chris Nkunku and 19-year-old Stanley Nsoki suggests that the Argentinian is not in PSG's plans. And with Arsenal, Man United, Man City, Tottenham and maybe even Chelsea all looking for a midfielder in the summer, Lo Celso's agent should expect a busy 2019. Number 1. Luka Jović. At number 1 is Luka Jović, who's managed to improve on his exciting numbers from a year ago. We put the 20-year-old Serb in our team of ones to watch for 2018-19 after he was involved in 9 goals in 900 minutes for Eintracht Frankfurt last season. And so far this year, he's scored 9 and assisted 2, making him the top scorer in the Bundesliga at the time of writing. He's done that in just 524 minutes, a truly obscene hit rate. And though he's substantially overperforming expected goals, with Understat putting his predicted output at 5 goals and 1 assist, that would still give him a goal involvement every 87 minutes. Only 6 players in Europe's top 5 leagues can beat his 0.81 xG per 90 minutes, and he ranks first in Europe for shots in the box per game, with an unbelievable 4.5. By comparison, Lewandowski is on 2.8, Harry Kane is on 2.6, and Messi is on 2.4. Partnering with French forward Sébastien Haller, who has 6 goals and 5 assists himself after 11 appearances, Jović is half of the most lethal strike partnership in Germany, powering Frankfurt into the top 4 and leaving only Dortmund ahead of them in the scoring charts. With Jović already linked to Bayern, Spurs and Barcelona, it's unlikely we'll see that pair together in 2019-20. So that's all we've got time for today, but who did we miss out and who would you have included? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, stay right here on Eurofootball Daily and check out Football Mundial from yesterday and also One-on-One, our new strand which debuted on Monday, where I explain expected goals. And as ever, make sure that you like and subscribe.